Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsenal desperate to sell 28-year-old but can't find him a new club. Arsenal are struggling to find a new club for winger Nicolas Pepe with deadline day quickly approaching. Journalist Michael Bridge has provided more details on the 28-year-old's future via Give Me Sport. Time is running out for Arsenal to shift some of the players who are surplus to requirements from their squad. Arsenal have done some brilliant work with their signings this summer, but have always struggled to sell players for decent fees. Fowler and Balogun's move to Monaco yesterday raised £35 million, which narrowly misses out on being their record sale. However, more often than not, players end up leaving on free transfers or, in worst case scenarios, having their contracts terminated. Arsenal are desperate to find a new club for Nicolas Pepe, who doesn't have a future at the Emirates. There has been interest this summer, but nothing has come to fruition yet. Talking about the Ivorian international's current situation, Bridge said, "Because it was such an expensive deal, I do wonder how much it would cost Arsenal to terminate his contract. They are doing everything in their power to get him a move. There has been interest from Turkey and a bit of interest from Spain. I think offloading Pepe and obviously Rob Holding will be Arsenal's priority in the final few days. They are on the market, but at the moment, they are struggling to find a new home." Arsenal simply need to find a way to move Nicolas Pepe this summer. He is on higher wages than regular starters Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Martinelli, and those funds could be used in a much more efficient way. His move to Arsenal simply hasn't worked out, and as soon as it was clear that he wasn't part of Mikel Arteta's plans, a permanent solution should have been found. However, it's understandable why other clubs don't want to take on his wages when he hasn't played particularly well either at Arsenal or on loan. Convincing the player to move to the Saudi Pro League could be tricky if that's not a transfer he is interested in. Mallorca joins host of clubs chasing Arsenal's Rob Holding. The Arsenal defender Rob Holding looks to have lots of options on the table as he is set to exit the Emirates this week. The defender has fallen down the pecking order at the Emirates Stadium after the arrivals of Jurrien and Jakub Kiwior this year and William Saliba last year. While Mallorca are in talks to land the Englishman, Sevilla and several Premier League clubs are also weighing up a move for the 27-year-old. Holding started at just 6 games in the Premier League last campaign, and those starts came only after an injury to Saliba ruled him out for the season. Despite already seeing Tamber being sidelined for a lengthy period, it's clear that the defender is nowhere close to Mikel Arteta's thinking. Plus, the player is about to reach the twilight of his career, and it would only be natural for him to want to play a more important role in a team. Holding was signed for just £2 million in the summer of 2016 from Bolton Wanderers. Since his arrival, he has failed to establish himself as a regular starter, making just 98 league appearances. Arsenal are also thought to be keen on landing another body in defense if they get the opportunity to do so before the transfer window shuts down on September 1. Thus, this summer looks like the right time for Holding to look for a different adventure. If he does end up leaving Arsenal, his positive attitude off the pitch will certainly be missed dearly by the players. In the end, he is the nice guy of the team who kept the morale up on several occasions, and even though his physical presence will become absent in a few days, he won't be forgotten in London Conley. Fabrizio Romano says 23-year-old has not even come close to leaving Arsenal this summer. Fabrizio Romano has declared that Emile Smith Rowe never came close to leaving Arsenal this summer after links to Chelsea. Speaking via Gout Offside, Romano shared that Smith Rowe was never a top target for Arsenal's rivals. He confirmed that he wasn't close to joining the side and that Arsenal can count on him as part of Mikel Arteta's project. Romano said, "There have been some other interesting Chelsea transfer rumors doing the rounds, but honestly, I am not aware of concrete negotiations for Emile Smith Rowe. Chelsea have been linked with 20 players or more this summer, but behind the scenes, they wanted Cole Palmer. Smith Rowe was never top target for Chelsea or close to joining even because Arsenal trust him and he is part of Mikel Arteta's project. This will no doubt be a relief for Arsenal fans with deadline day approaching. You would do well to find Arsenal fans who would be keen to see the Hale and graduate leave the Emirates anytime soon. Although Smith Rowe hasn't featured for Arsenal much over the past year, fans will have faith that the club have a plan for him. Arsenal will surely now be hoping that Smith Rowe can be a key contributor in the coming months. The Champions League group stage is set to begin and the England under 21 international will be hoping he can make his mark there. Mikel Arteta was full of compliments for Smith Rowe earlier this summer, and a departure would have seemed odd. Arsenal have already shown big faith in the midfielder by handing him a new long term contract along with the coveted number 10. And although Arteta's squad is very competitive this year, it would definitely look weaker if the 23-year-old had left. Therefore, Romano's Smith Rowe update is timely for Arsenal, who seem like they will be fairly quiet in these final days of the window. Arsenal reportedly won't make any more significant signings, but will still push for some departures. Arsenal chief Edu insert shrewd clause in Folarin Balogun deal and a transfer master stroke. Folarin Balogun has completed a £34 million move to Monaco, but significantly Arsenal have kept a 17.5% sell-on clause to protect themselves in the future sales. USA international Balogun, 22, joined Arsenal aged 10 but really came to prominence when he scored 21 goals in 37 games while on loan for Stade de Reims last season. Monaco beat off interest from Chelsea and RB Leipzig to sign Balogun, who has gone to the French club on a 5-year deal. The deal is worth 40 million euros, but the exchange rate means that it's just below Arsenal's record sale, which remains Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's £35 million move to Liverpool in 2017. It became apparent earlier this summer that Balogun, despite his exploits in France, remained behind Gabriel Jesus and Edin Ketaya in the pecking order. Jesus remains the club's first choice number 9, but Nketiah has been able to step up when the Brazilian has been injured. The former Manchester City man is again on the sidelines, but Arteta maintained that Balogun would not be retained as backup when quizzed back in August. He said, "The plan with Balogun doesn't change at all, but unfortunately, with Gabi, we are not going to have him. We have other options to play with different qualities of players, so we will adapt." Balogun only played twice for Arsenal in the Premier League, which was several seasons ago, with his loan spells at Middlesbrough and Rams doing little to further his aspirations at the Emirates, where he'd been on the books for several years, having come through the academy. The North Londoners said on their website, "We thank Folarin for his contribution to Arsenal through our academy into the first team and wish him the best of health and happiness in his new chapter at Monaco." Alan Brazil suggests Arsenal should be trying to sign £50 million Tottenham target. Pundit Alan Brazil has questioned why Arsenal haven't tried to sign Tottenham Hotspur target Brennan Johnson this summer. Brazil was speaking on TalkSport and discussing the end of the transfer window. Every club is looking for any final opportunities to improve their squad in the last 24 hours of the transfer window. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta will be delighted with the business his side have already done. Declan Rice and Kai Havertz improved the overall quality of Arsenal's midfield, while Jurrien Timber adds great versatility in defense. The Dutchman's injury is very unfortunate, and the Gunners have been linked with a defender who could come in as last-minute cover. David Raya provides brilliant competition for Aaron Ramsdale, and it will be interesting to see when he makes his debut. Alan Brazil has admitted he is surprised Arsenal haven't joined Tottenham in trying to sign Brennan Johnson. The £50 million rated Nottingham Forest forward could play across Mikel Arteta's front line. He would also fit the mold of Arsenal's recent transfer business of bringing in young stars with the potential to improve even further. Talksport journalist Alex Crook was talking about Johnson's future and how Spurs are the most likely team to sign him right now. Alan Brazil responded and said, "Would Arsenal not be interested in Johnson? You know what I mean. Eden Ketia is fine, but is he clinical enough? And if Gabriel Jesus gets injured again, then they might struggle up front." Brazil's criticism of Nketiah may be harsh, but Arsenal would really benefit from Johnson arriving at the club. Arsenal plotting late move for defender who could cost around 26 to 30 million pound. Arsenal are reportedly looking to sign the Benfica defender Alexander Ba. According to reports via Evening Standard, Arsenal are hoping to sign the 25-year-old before the summer transfer window closes. The Gunners are currently lacking in depth in the defensive unit, especially after the injury blow to Jurrien Timber. The Londoners signed the Dutchman earlier this summer in order to add more quality and depth to their back four. However, he picked up a serious injury in the opening day of the season and he has been sidelined for several months. Arsenal are now under pressure to bring in alternatives and they have identified the Benfica defender as a target. Ba has been a key player for the Portuguese outfit and he contributed to 1 goal and 7 assists across all competitions last season. The 25-year-old can operate as the right back as well as the right-sided wing back. His versatility will be another bonus for Arsenal. The Gunners could definitely use more defensive quality, and the 25-year-old will help him going forward as well. Apparently, the defender could be available for a fee of around 26 to 30 million pound, and it remains to be seen whether Arsenal are prepared to shell out that kind of money for him. The Gunners will be competing in the UEFA Champions League this season, and they need a deeper squad to do well across multiple competitions. It will be interesting to see if they can get a deal for the 25-year-old defender across the line before the summer transfer window closes. Arsenal in contact over signing Napoli striker Victor Osimhen. Anyone who has been following Arsenal over the past few years will know that Mikel Arteta's project has been all about long-term growth season on season. Indeed, Arsenal want to get better with each passing year and they are always thinking long-term with their recruitment strategy. Therefore, it may not surprise you too much to hear that they are already discussing a transfer target for next summer. Indeed, according to Steve Kai, speaking on KS1 TV, Arsenal have held concrete talks with both Napoli and the player's agent over the potential signing of Victor Osimhen this time next year. Kai shared what he knows about Osimhen. He said, "Yeah, I mean, I have been told that there has been contact. There has been talk about Arsenal bringing in Osimhen, not this window, next window. There has been no contact with the player, just contact with Roberto Calenda, who is his agent, and the Napoli president, who has said he is not for sale this summer. But there has been some concrete talks with them, one to keep an eye on, not for this summer, next summer." This is the type of signing that could push Arsenal from being domestic contenders to Champions League hopefuls. Make no mistake about it, Osimhen is one of the very best strikers in the world. He tore Serie A to shreds with Napoli last season and was described as being even better than Erling Haaland in the process. Osimhen has all of the attributes to be a superstar in the Premier League and in a Mikel Arteta team that prioritizes quick, slick attacking football, he would be right at home. This could be an inspired signing if Arsenal can pull it off. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.